Hey guys, nobody's here yet. This red wall is kind of atrocious. I don't know about this. Hello. I wish I knew how to cut this part out. And hopefully some of you guys will be here. Oh, 2 people here. Hi guys. Who's here? Hi, Lori. Hi. Lori and, oh, now there's 6 of you guys. Is this light horrible? Hi, Trudy. Oh, I'm glad you joined us even though you didn't read the book. Hi, Michelle. Did the rest of you guys read the book? There's 9 of you now. There's 13 of you guys. You guys, hi, Sally. I love you. Eddie, this is at the hotel. Everybody say hi to Eddie. Eddie, I am at the hotel in Salt Lake City. Sally did not read the book. Rosie, hi Rosie. Did you read the book, Rosie? Yeah, I'm at the hotel, Eddie. Hi Eddie, hi Eddie, hi Eddie. You guys, I miss Eddie. Ah! So, like where to even start with this book, right? Like, holy cow. Is it a bad connection? Sorry, it's just a bad color. Here, maybe if I turn. Nope. Nope. Bad color. Red walls in Econo Lodge. Anyway, so you guys, this book, I literally just finished reading it. Bobby just texted me. It's better now? Oh, that's cool. So I literally just finished listening to this book. Like, that's why I was a minute late, because I just finished it. Holy crap. What an emotional book, right? Eddie, goodbye. You gotta read the books, Eddie, sometime. This is book club, buddy. So I don't even know where to start because this book is so amazing. Eddie's gonna go live himself. So if you guys didn't read the book, maybe you can jump over and watch Eddie, whatever he's gonna talk about. Anyway, so 20 people here. Did you all read it? I know Sally didn't read it and Trudy didn't read it. Hi Bobby, you found me. I saw your text, but I couldn't stop the video and reply. So that book, right? It was so good, right, Lori? And I loved the history. It makes me, Bobby read it. I know you read it, Bobby. It was amazing, right? It was so different from the books we've been reading, but so, oh my gosh, I can't even, I don't even know where to start because it was just so emotional and just so eye-opening. Yeah, you're right. Just unbelievable. It makes me want, look, that lampshade is crooked and I have to straighten it. Okay, anyway, yeah, so much history. You know what I really appreciate about the history part of it is that so much of, Trudy says you need to find a way to get the audiobook. Yeah, Trudy, you totally should. I live on audiobooks because I don't have time to really sit down and read a book. I know, I'm camouflage, huh, Sally? I'm camouflage. Anyway, Lori, first of all, why don't we hear more about these amazing women in history classes, right? I know. It makes me really want to believe that this, hi, Christy, you're listening to the audiobook. I just finished it. It makes me want to believe that this story itself is true. Bobby, why did you not like the audiobook? It wasn't, there was no accent to this one. I know you said you don't like listening to books with accent. But, I mean, I know all the history part of it is true, but I really want to believe that these women existed. And you're right, why don't we hear more about women like this in history? We all know about what happened with the concentration camps and the Jews. You didn't like the voices, Bobby? I thought they were good. I thought they were good. It was the same lady, but, you know. But what I really appreciated was hearing the story from a different perspective. Maybe they did exist, Bobby. I don't know. You know what? If Isabel and Vianne did not exist, I bet there were so many women like that, so many women who really, man, who just like saved so many people and did their part. This kind of makes me think of Schindler's List a little bit, where he, I love that movie, first of all, but he just saved as many people as he could. And these women just did what they could. But if so many different people do what they can, then we as a society as a whole, you know, can save the world, you know? I don't know, 19 kids is, when 19 kids get married and have kids of their own, that's a lot of lives there. So I think they really did some amazing, amazing things. But Lori said, at the back of the book, they were based on true stories. She was doing research. She kept uncovering little stories of these people. Now, that is cool. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just got a notification from Eddie that he's live and he's driving home, so. Jeannie, you read this book when it first came out. When did it come out? I know it's been on my wish list for a while and I wanted to read it. But it's just funny that we all voted on it and it's so different from what we've been reading. Lori says she created Isabella and her sister as characters, but she probably had so much rich history to base those characters on. If there were stories like that, I'm sure there were so many stories like that and stories that were never discovered. You know what I mean? Like so many people who were just like that. Oh, the book came out a couple years ago. Okay. Yeah, there were probably so many people just like that who did so many amazing things during the war, and nobody knows about them, nobody recognized them, nobody, I mean, especially with so many people just kind of disappearing and being killed, nobody knows about all the good that these people did. So, and people who, you know, were not necessarily Jewish, but still saving humanity. So it just blows me away. I just think it's so interesting to hear the whole Jewish concentration camp story from a different perspective, from the French perspective. Like, you guys have probably all read, what is that book with the little girl? Anne Frank, the Anne Frank Diary. You guys have probably all read that. There's a lot of concentration camp movies out that I've seen, but I've never heard it. Bobby, I'm not in Idaho, but yeah. Sweater, and I'm hot though. But I've never heard of the story from the French perspective. Anne Frank's story was really sad. Really good though. I mean, like, gosh, I've never heard any of this from the French perspective or from the political prisoner perspective. What's The Book Thief, Jeannie? Is that another story based on World War II? Or, so what I want to know is, was it just me, or did you guys all think that the old lady, I do need a t-shirt. I'm super hot right now. I need to turn on the AC in here. That's what I need to do. Was it just me, or did you guys all think that this old lady, oh, that's about World War II? I gotta read that one then. That sounds good. Thanks, Jeannie. Who's the author? Did you guys all think that this lady who was narrating, or the old lady at the beginning of the story, for real? I did too, Lori. Thank you. That's where I was going. I thought it was going to be Isabel too. Isabel. Yeah, it was really good. Oh, so the Book Thief, what is it called? Jeannie? It's from the Jewish perspective. You know, can you guys even imagine being in a concentration camp? I think this author really brought to life the whole concentration camp scenario. And I mean, I've heard the story told a million times, but just the way she was able to, you didn't think that, Bobby? You knew that that was Vianne the whole time? I seriously thought it was Isabel. I did. I was like, and then at the very end, I was like, what? What the heck? It was all heartbreaking. The concentration camp, I mean, her dad dying, it was all just, and then her best friend is gone, and then the little boy that got taken away, Daniel, it was all heartbreaking. Like, can you even imagine living through a time like that? And we let me just put it to me, I complain so much about well, okay, I try not to complain, but I do complain about my life and the things I go through and the struggles that I have, but nothing, they are nothing like, yeah, Daniel, when they took Daniel away, but the things I go through are nothing like this. I don't know if I could survive this. I don't know if I could, honestly, you guys. I know that once you can't really judge anything unless you're in the situation. Like, I don't know what I would do unless I was actually in that situation. What would you do? Would you be a survivor, or would you? I think once I got to the concentration camp, I would totally just like, I would give up. I'd be like, this is too much. I don't think I could do it, you know? Do you guys think? Yeah, Bobby, I think so too. We are weak. And Jeannie, yes, it's a horrible time in history. Lori says, I related to Vianne and what she had to do for her children. Did you? I would die too, Bobby. I would die. But you know what? It's awesome that Vianne, you know, if you guys have kids, you know you have to keep your kids at the forefront and do whatever you can for them. I don't know though, if I was separated from my kids, or even if my kids died, I would give up. I would totally get to the concentration camp and just give up. But Isabel was like so strong the whole time. She's like, just survive, just live, just do it. Right, Lori? Yeah, she would do anything to keep Sophie safe. And she did. But how sad that Sophie died later of cancer. That made me sad too. They both had cancer. That's really sad. I seriously thought it was Isabel the whole time though. That was weird. Oh, my screen just went weird. So what do you guys think? Okay, kids are life. Kids are life. And I have a question I'm going to ask you guys later for all the parents. But so first of all, I want to know, when I think in chapter 34, they talk about the smell of fear on the train. This is a weird question, but do you guys know what fear smells like? Have you ever been in a situation where you know what fear smells like? I know I haven't, and I am very blessed and very thankful and very happy that I've never been in a situation where I know what fear smells like. But we read another book, I think it was Behind Closed Doors, and the character Jack, it is so scary, right, Bobby? But remember, the character Jack, he was sick, but he thrived on the smell of fear. So, I mean, I never want to experience the smell of fear. I don't want to know what that's like, but thank goodness, right, Sally? And Jeannie, I don't think any of us, hopefully, have ever been in a situation where we know what fear smells like. Lori says, the feeling it gives you as a victim, you must send off signals. Yeah, you must. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. But in chapter 34, Isabella is talking about the smell of fear on the train. She's talking about the smell of sweat and feces and fear. So it's not even just her fear. She herself is smelling the fear of everyone on that train. That's just bizarre. I can't even imagine. And all of us are so blessed to not have to go through this. I'm going to say that a lot in this discussion, because we are so blessed to not have to have lived through this. This is horrible. So for everybody who is a parent, what do you think about the dad's, how he kind of failed, the dad's name was Julian, right? How he kind of failed the kids at the beginning when he came back from the war, and he was drinking a lot, and he just gave the kids up. Once his wife died, he was like, he didn't really want anything to do with them. That's huge as a father, as a parent, to just give your kids up. But then at the end, what a huge sacrifice, not only for his daughter. He tried so hard to save Isabel by claiming to be the Nightingale, but he saved humanity, other people too, you know? So I don't know, as I know me as a parent, I have made a lot of mistakes as a parent, and the guilt like tears me up. I don't know if that's every parent, or maybe I'm just a terrible parent, I don't know. But I know, I mean, it's so hard to be a parent. Lori says he was a broken man. He walked away rather than deal with things, but he was up to something in the back room. Yeah. But man, how he sacrificed for his daughter, his daughters, actually. I think that's amazing. But I mean, man, you guys, for those of you who are parents, it's really hard to be a parent. And I don't know, just you cannot do everything 100% right all the time. So Lori said at the end he was a true hero. He sacrificed everything and he truly wanted to. He did. It almost made me cry. I was so sad when he went before the firing squad. I was like, are you kidding me? But I know, Bobby, the whole book is like so freaking sad. But I do have to say, at the end, I had a smile on my face. I was like, now that is so cool. The reunion and how Vianne was kind of honored at the reunion, and just to be able to see like all the people there that were alive because of what she helped do during the war, that made me smile. I mean, the whole book was just so sad and so depressing, but that last little bit made me smile. I was like, yeah, this is good. There is good in the world, you know, in the midst of like so much evil. It's just awesome to think that there were still people. Right, Jeannie? A good book really does that. And I think I've read another book by Kristen Hanna, but I can't remember what it was. Lori says Vianne and Rachel's friendship, and then how Vianne cost her so much due to that damn list. I know. Would you guys have given up the list like that? You know what? She almost kind of didn't really have a choice, though. You know, he asked her, and I mean, she came through for her in the end with Daniel. Yeah, she did. She did. But her friend died because of it. But you know what? Her friend would have died anyway, you know? Like Vianne said, did she really even have a choice in giving that list? I mean, she wished she wouldn't have, but they would have found out anyway. Exactly, Lori. They would have found them anyway. That's what they did back then. So, ugh, isn't it just, it's so weird. Yeah, Kristen Hanna has written a lot of books. Oh, I think the one I read was Homefront. I don't remember what it's about, but it was good. It was a good book. I don't know if it was this good. This book was amazing. So what do you guys think about, she didn't what, Bobby? What do you guys think about when Vianne said she knew that Isabel and Antoine were still alive because, quote, I'd feel it if they were gone? Isn't that, like, would you feel if a loved one was gone and you had no idea of the circumstances or why? I don't know. I think that was kind of stretching it a little bit. I mean, maybe people really feel that, but was that believable? I don't know why. It's a phrase that stuck out to me. I'd know if they were gone. She probably was just hoping, right, Bobby? And maybe in a circumstance like that, that's all you can do. Yeah, because if you don't have hope, if you don't have hope to hold on to, what do you have? Nothing. She had Sophie. She didn't, well, she had Daniel at that point, but I mean, yeah. I don't even know if I would have that much hope and that much strength, you know? Lori said, I thought it was heart-wrenching with the pieces of clothing being tied to the tree. I know. And that first piece of string that was Antoine's. Yeah. That was, that's kind of a cool way to remember people, though. I mean, we have scrapbooks and photos now, but what did she have then? She had that one photo of her and Rachel, and she gave that to Daniel. So in the end, she gave it to Daniel when they took Daniel. But she didn't really have other things to remember people by, so that was kind of cool. I thought that was cool. So about Julian. Would you guys, she was so strong, Bobby. They were both so strong. Like, they were so different in the beginning. The two sisters were like so completely different, and yet in the end they both did so many amazing things, and they were both so very, very strong. It was like, wow, like good genes, I guess. I would too, Bobby. I would lose it. I would lose it if anybody took my kids. If my kids died, I'd be gone. You know, I'd be like checking out of this world, like, see ya, you know? But what would you, so if you, I'm thinking about the circumstance with Julian and how Julian was not Antoine's baby. Would you have told Antoine straight up at the beginning, or would you have just let that lie go on for years? I am the kind of person who's like so, like I can't, I'm a horrible liar. I'm a horrible liar. You would endure, right, Jeannie? If you have to, you would, I guess. I would hope. But anyway, I'm the kind of person who's like, I cannot help but being honest. Like, whatever I do, I don't know. I would tell too, Bobby. Like, I don't want to say it's a character flaw, but it can be sometimes to just, I'm so honest and transparent. I can't. I would have to tell too, Bobby. I couldn't. How could you even look at Antoine and watch him raise this kid and him not knowing? And now, years later, when Julian doesn't even know that Antoine is not his dad. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'd have to tell too. But, I mean, I know it was super traumatic, but you think Julian knew? Right, Sally? I think honesty is always the best policy. Although, is honesty the best policy when something is just going to hurt someone? If you know something about someone and we choose to see miracles, yeah, you're right. He was a really good man, and he apparently raised Julian just like his own son. So, yeah, he would have been fine if she would have told him. But what do you guys think about when Vianne said they were pretending to love each other after the war, after Antoine came back? What does that mean? Like, were they just having a hard time connecting after he came back and they both had like so much trauma? I was like, what? They can't break up because no, he's such a good man and she was like so strong and everything. I was like, what does that mean that they were pretending to love? I don't know. That kind of made me sad. I can't imagine. Lori says, I think initially they both had to shed what happened to them. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I can't imagine going through so much trauma that they both did, and they both endured so much separately from each other. So it's not even something they could share with each other. I mean, the things that Vianne went through are like so 100% different from what Antoine went through. And then they're back together. But they were, I mean, they loved each other since what, like 14? So I was like, you guys got to keep loving each other. Yeah, you're right, Jeannie. That kind of trauma seriously changes you. Yeah, I was thinking about when they were going through that. I was like, you know how if people like lose a child. Lori says at the end when Isabel saw Gaetan at the end. I know, but then she died. But she died in his arms. So, but yeah, I was thinking about with the whole trauma thing, I was thinking about parents that lose a child and how it really breaks apart a marriage. Hi, Gina. Hi, Gina. I miss you. But when people lose a child or have some serious, substantial trauma, it breaks up a marriage. So yeah, it was probably really hard on them to actually try to get past everything that had happened. So, Gina, you already know too much. Are you reading the book, Gina? Are you going to read it? Because I think we just major spoil alert. Yeah, major. So, let me see. I can't believe that Isabel was not the old woman telling the story. I seriously thought that the whole time. What do you guys think about if Ginger, I didn't read the book but saw that you were alive. Hi, Ginger. Hi, what are you making for dinner? Gina, who dies? I didn't say who died. They fought for their causes. Isabel made trips over the mountain in the weather. Yeah, they were like so incredibly strong. There's like probably 4 or 5 of you who didn't read the book who are just hanging out with me, and I appreciate it. Burgers! Burgers sound good. That sounds good, Ginger. So what would you guys think if you were like in this situation? She's a really good storyteller, right, Jeannie? This is a really good author. It's just so interesting because we've done so many like psychological thrillers, and now we're like so drama. The author said that's what inspired the book in the first place. What inspired the book in the first place? I know, you guys, you all got to read the book, right, Bobby? It was so good. Eddie's like, they stopped watching me to watch him. Fine. Yeah, you got to read the book, Ginger, so thanks for saying hi, though. We'll try not to ruin it for you. It was so good. A young woman who took a fallen pilot over the mountain. Oh, so that's what she based the whole book on? That's what made her write it? That's interesting. Eddie, you were only live for 9 minutes and 57 seconds. You guys, I miss Eddie, like, a lot. So she researched more stories and found out about the women who also saved the children. That's cool. That's really cool. So if you were in that situation, would you be, do you think, with your personality, whoever's in here, she said she wanted to get their stories out. That's awesome. With your personality, Lori, Bobby, whoever's here, do you think that you would be the kind of person that would be like, just try to survive, like look out for yourself and just, and your family, yourself and your family? Or would you look to the bigger picture and try to like save the world? It's not like saving the world, but would you try to save like the 19 children, the pilots? What kind of person do you think you would be in that circumstance? Number one, I think I'd get to the concentration camp and be like, done. Number two, I guess the first instinct would be save yourself and save your family. But as you kind of go through these circumstances, if you, I think if I saw ways that I could help other people, I would probably do that. Lori says she would try to save others. The mother instinct, yeah. Yeah. Jeannie says she would try to survive. I don't know, that's the first instinct. Try to survive, save your family, save your kids. But this dragged on for so long. They were in survival mode for so long, right? That eventually they would kind of see like the outside circumstances and outside people who needed their help and be like, well, I could do that. I could do something. So I would like to think that's the kind of person I would be too. But I don't know. I'm not a very creative person and I don't always think outside the box. So I would be, number one, first and foremost, concerned with my kids, my family, and saving all of them. So I don't know. But if an opportunity arose and you saw it as a chance to help someone else, you couldn't, you know, pass it up. Lori says we complain about how many points we have left, and those women walk to town for hours for scraps of food. Octopus? Octopus? How do they? And then they watched how the soldiers wasted so much. Yeah, I know. And we're like, I ate 44 points today, you know? Really, like, I love books like this because it kind of brings things into perspective, right? Like, my life is so small, but, you know, there's so much perspective. Like, the things I go through are nothing, and I need to remember that compared to what other people have been through. But it's kind of sad how we as Americans, I don't know if it's just us in the United States, but how any trial that affects our lives or our family's lives is just trauma, like trauma central, you know? When there's bigger things going on in the world. I have to remember that. I really do. But yeah, I would hope that if the opportunity arose, I would help someone in the midst of my own struggles too. I would hope so. So what do you guys think about, I mean, let's talk about lessons of war. This is something that probably, Lori says, I think one thing took away from it, we don't know what others are going through. We have battles, but yeah, we get wrapped up in our own. We do, and is that an American thing in general? Because I feel like Americans are more selfish. I don't know why. We do need to remember that, Sally. We need to remember the big picture. It's not just about us. It's not just about my points that I have left for the day or that I'm exhausted. There's so much going on in the world, you know. It kind of makes me, a book like this kind of makes me want to like just reach out and save the world, and I can't. But so what kind of, it's a human thing, Bobby, you think, to save yourself first and then save the world, or to want to save the world? Because I don't think everybody wants to do that. There are so many evil and cruel people out there who don't even give a crap about the person next to them. They're like, you know, so I don't think that wanting to help people or save the world or whatever is kind of human nature, but thankfully a lot of us probably have that in us, so that's good. Oh, you think that's human nature to save other people? I don't know. I don't think so, because I just think there's so many cruel people in the world. You're right, Jeannie. People are still being persecuted. It's not just fiction. It's not just that time period. It still happens. Not maybe on that scale, but yeah, that's just incredible when you think about how many millions of people died because of one person, essentially. I mean, it's not just one person, but you know, when it boils down to it, the effect of one person made millions of people lose their lives. And when they were talking about your wishful thinking, right, Bobby? Hoping for the best. There are very cruel people in the world, right, Sally? The hunger issues too, right, Lori, in the United States. Yeah, not just with children, but all the homeless people that I see. And yeah, a lot of them just made some bad decisions. Hi, Adam. Anyway, a lot of people just make bad decisions and end up, I don't know, paying for their consequences, a lot of homeless people. But a lot of homeless, hungry people are just homeless and hungry, you know, because of circumstances that maybe didn't have anything to do with them. Thank you, Bobby. Anyway, so I mean, we are really blessed that we don't have to really deal with war on American soil. So we would never, I mean, the whole rationing thing, I mean, it might happen someday, who's to say, but I like the change of genre too, Lori. It was kind of refreshing to hear something different. The book haunts you, Bobby? It was really intense and really emotional, huh? I know I said that about The Good Daughter too, but this was like, it was just so different. Like, but in a, I don't know. I just feel like I want to save the world after this book. Like, it just touched me in a way that I was like, I don't know. It really, you know what? That's a sign of a good author though, Bobby. Somebody that can write a book and tell a story to the extent that it stays with you. Yeah, and that it's so real. It was so real. When they were talking about in the concentration camp, and she knew that they were gassing people in the concentration camps, and she's standing there waiting for the showers to come on, they didn't know if it was going to be gas or cold water, you know? So how scary would that be? My gosh. I was thinking about how the first people, the first Jewish people, I do need to read The Good Thief. I do, Jeannie. But I was thinking about how the first Jewish people to be gassed in the concentration camps, they had no idea. They had no idea what was going on. So that was actually a blessing because they hadn't heard any stories. I mean, they were probably terrified, yes, because of the whole circumstance and where they were and what was going on. But they didn't know they were going to be gassed. And yet the people that went to the camps later and they had heard stories, they were like, you know, is this it? Even Isabel said, this is it. This is it. You know, how scary would that be to feel like, to think that you're going to die right then? I can't even imagine. It's so sad, Bobby. So sad. But this was a really good book, and I really enjoyed the Book Thief? The Book Thief, okay. Hey, Jeannie, can you tell me who is the author of The Book Thief? It's not Kristen Hanna, is it? I love this book. You guys, I just love reading books and stories and learning. I mean, I feel like this book was kind of, if not educational, it was at least eye-opening for us. I can't comprehend it either, Bobby. I can't imagine living through something like that. But man, what a What an amazingly strong person that would make of you. I don't think, is there anybody left from the concentration camps now? Or I think most of them have passed, but I was really sad that Isabel passed. Oh, okay, thanks, Jeannie. The book thief, I have to remember that. I was really sad that Isabel passed after she made it through all that. I was like, no, are you kidding me? I seriously thought it was Isabel the whole time narrating, or the old woman that was telling this story. But dang, I can't imagine being that strong of a woman. So, hi Mary Jo, did you read the book? Are you gonna read the next one? Has anybody started on, what is it called? Something in the Water? I haven't. I'm very excited to read that one too. Oh, you're gonna read the next one? Okay, okay, Mary Joy, good. So we'll have that book club discussion on the last Sunday in September at hopefully the regular time, Sunday, 10 o'clock. Oh, you're gonna start it, Lori? Me too, me too, super excited. There are so many books I wanna read, but I love that you guys are like helping me choose, because it's kind of getting me out of a little bit of, you know, what I was stuck on, because this book was really amazing. Oh, The Good Daughters, really good, right, Lori? That was another really intense one, but in such a different way. It's funny because I don't know. I can't imagine being an author. Like, how do they even come up with this stuff? Like, yeah, that threw me at the end too, Lori. Have you guys ever tried to write anything? Bye, Bobby. And yes, you will have it finished in 2 days. August was tough. I'm sorry, Mary Jo. I feel like my whole summer this year was so tough. But, bye, Bobby. But the books kind of get me like out of my head and my situation. So I really just like being able to escape, and I really appreciate the kind of authors that really pull you out. Lori hasn't tried to... I relax through books too, Lori. It's just nice to get lost in someone else's story. I find it really enjoyable. I have tried to write before, and it's not easy. I would mostly write poetry when I was a kid, but poetry, I feel like the really good, intense poetry comes from trauma. And trauma, drama, feelings, intense emotion. So I can't always write really good poetry, which is probably a blessing, because I don't want to be like in a trauma state for all of my life. But I feel like that's where the good poetry comes from. As far as stories, I've tried to write a few stories, and it's just, I don't know, it's different. It's hard to, unless you're, I don't know, like what about Stephen King? Like, where does he come up with that crap? You're right, Jeannie, books open up completely different worlds, different perspectives, different people, different races, different cultures, different nations. I think it's so educational for us. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I really, really wanted my kids to be super big readers. Lori says, it makes you think how a moment with a loved one can be remembered and get you through times, many times, and hardships. Yeah, you're right. Because this book kind of made me maybe think about appreciating what I have more with my loved ones, right? So, I don't know. I just think it's an amazing author that can really bring that out in us. So, I don't know. I love it. I love it. So I'm super excited for the next book. You guys have any other things to say about this awesome book? We do take so much for granted, right, Lori? And you know what? It's funny with a book like this, it's so eye-opening that we lead such cushy lives. We are so privileged, and we have so much here, and we take it for granted. But a book like some of the psychological thrillers, that's not where my mind goes after a book like that. It's kind of weird. So I really appreciated this book for just, I don't know, just being like different genre. The next book is called Something in the Water. And shoot, I can't remember the name of the author, Jeannie, but I will put it in the description box. So It's a long book. It's, well, as far as the audiobook, it's like 20. The food descriptions, I know. Right, Lori? You know what like literally made me go, ew, when I was listening to it was when Isabel was describing the tepid water that she had to drink when she first got, I think when she first got on the train in the cars, and they had that bucket of nasty old water next to them, and she had to drink it. I love long books too, Jeannie. You know why? Because I fall in love with the characters and I'm always so sad and disappointed when a book ends. Like, I'm gonna miss Isabel. I'm gonna miss Vianne, you know? Like, oh my gosh, am I the only one who's like that? So I really do like books that kind of go on. And I also like sequels, but thank you, Lori. It's called Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman, Jeannie. Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman. Thank you. I'm excited to dig into that one. But yeah, love this. So, you guys, I'm in Utah right now, and I'm hot, and I miss my husband and my cat. And I'm ready to go home, but I had the best time. Jeannie says, I start reading extra slow at the ends. Good, I'm glad I'm not the only one that never wants it to end. Oh, I was gonna say I like sequels too, but some sequels, like Game of Thrones, for example. Oh, Lori, wait. So Lori says Reese Witherspoon's book club, they chose this book too? Or did they choose Something in the Water? Because I was looking at her choices and I was like, oh, we should read the ones that she does, but I mean, we probably wouldn't all like all of them, but did you guys watch the movie book club? Because I still haven't yet. Yes. Oh, Something in the Water is one that Reese Witherspoon read? That's cool. That's cool. We'll have to look up and see what she thought about it. Do they have like discussions though? Do you know, Lori? Does Reese Witherspoon have discussions with her book clubs? I still really want to watch that dumb movie, The Book Club, because I'm just a nerd like that. I'm a book nerd, and I'm proud of it. Yeah. But yeah, I love a good book. I also really, really love movies, though. Oh, the stickers on the book, Lori? That's interesting. Well, I know that Audible actually advertises Reese Witherspoon's book club. So it's funny. Lori, I gotta watch it. Dang, maybe I'll rent it or something, because I know it's like not in theaters anymore, but I really want to see it in theater. Eddie's mom saw it. I think she liked it. So yeah, I want to watch it. The movie, The Book Club, was hilarious, says Tiffany. That's awesome. I gotta see it. You guys are killing me now. Do you guys like movies better or books better? Aren't they so beautiful, Lori? All my little babies, even my grown-up babies, they were so much fun. I had just the best time. You like books better, Tiffany? Is that because you think that the books leave more to the imagination and you like that better? I feel I really love movies. I really love books. I love audiobooks. I feel like it's the story that I'm after. Jeannie likes books better too. Interesting. Very interesting. Is that, Jeannie, because you like having it left to your imagination? Well, yeah, Tiffany says, Lily's beautiful, right, Lori? Tiffany says books tell more of a story. And that's true because, you know, you can only fit so much into a movie, for real. So, I mean, people can only sit there for so long. But what if we compared like a movie, I mean, not a movie, what if we compared a book to like a series, like a TV series? Because a TV series can go on and on and on and include tons of extra information. But you know what, on the other hand, you know how some books are like super wordy? You can't put that in a movie at all, or a television show. So, and even some like wordy books kind of get old, like it's like, wrap it up and just tell me what the story is, right? So, do you guys ever read like old classics? I haven't read a classic in, I don't know if I've ever, okay, when I was in school. But I watched the movie Fahrenheit 451 the other day. Do you remember reading that book? The book was so much better. The movie was kind of like, it was kind of set more not to this time now, but like in our future. So it was just bizarre. You can imagine the characters, and when I see the movie, I'm always disappointed. Lori says books go into more detail. A series can go on and on. You pay more attention to books, though. Is it because I wonder, because I live in Hollywood land, that I'm like all, I love movies too. Have you guys heard about that AMC deal? I'm so doing it. AMC has a deal where they have, you pay $20 a month and you get to go to 3 movies a week. I'm so excited to do it. I am serious, but I gotta keep up with my books too. Tiffany says, I love movies, but they don't always live up to her imagination. That is true. I feel like movies leave a lot less interpretation too. Like, because it just flat out gives you the whole storyline, it gives you what the characters look like, what the characters sound like, and a lot of times it really just flat out explains the story behind the story, you know what I mean? Whereas books sometimes when there's, or a lot of the times when there's a story behind the story, you have to figure it out. That's why they have literature classes in high school and college, because there's always something to discuss. There's always a story behind a story. I did not see Mamma Mia, Jeannie. Was it good? Isn't there 2 of them? Like Mamma Mia 1 and 2? I should watch that if you liked it. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like movies are not as deep as they should be. I guess that's the whole like entertainment industry and why they call it the entertainment industry, because when you go to watch a movie, you're going just to be entertained. But I kind of feel like that with a book too. Like I read books because I want to be entertained and I want to kind of be like swept away like out of my own life. Oh, you watched the second one, GD? I haven't watched either one. But I don't know, I guess with a movie too, you are kind of like taken out of your own life for like 2 hours. So it's just not as long. But, so who was your favorite character in this book? In The Nightingale. I really liked Isabel. I think I relate more to Isabel because I'm not... Lori, I get to go, I'm leaving, I'll be home tomorrow. I know, I miss him too. And my food, like my food videos are kind of wacky right now because being on the road and just like eating, nobody's cooking anything. It's funny because when I went back home this time, nobody's cooking. My one daughter-in-law, Julie, she cooked some chili the other day, but everybody else hates cooking. And I really don't like cooking, but it will be kind of nice to get back to my home with my food and the things I like to eat. But I have really enjoyed, I love eating out, so it's been nice to do that. But I realize like the what I ate videos, it's hard to really learn anything when somebody eats out like all the time because it's like, you can't replicate that at home, you know, unless you're gonna go on vacation to Idaho and go eat a Cracker Barrel, which was really, really good. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been so much fun. My kids crack me up so much. Miss America is in Salt Lake tonight? How funny. Lori says, toss up between Isabel and Vianne. You're gonna say Vianne, how she saved Ari and herself and her son and the child she wanted so bad. That's interesting. I really liked Ari too, but I think I relate more to, I mean, I really liked Vianne too, but I think I relate more to Isabel because I've always been more, I don't want to say like a rebel, but if you ask my mom, then she would say, yeah, I'm definitely a rebel. Hi, Dee. What time is it there, Dee? It must be like either super early in the morning. Hi, Susan. Hey, you guys. Are you guys going to read the next book? Susan, Dee, is everybody reading the next book? It's a 20-hour audiobook, so I don't even know what the book looks like. It's 9:50 in Australia. Everybody say hi to Dee in Australia. You're going to read the next book? Awesome. You think I seem like a fighter, Lori? Yeah, I think I would be able to cross the mountains like that. If you know what, I think if it's a cause that we are all passionate about, though, we would all be fighters, right? Dee, you're so cute. Sally, you still need to read it. It's still good. Sally, are you going to read Something in the Water? I want to know. And I think Gina's gone, but I wonder if Gina's going to read it. I'm super excited to read it, but it sounds like a corny, I don't know why, but it sounds like a corny B thriller movie. Hopefully it's not like, I hope it's good. It must be good, but it sounds kind of funny to me. Like every B horror movie you ever watch, Something in the Water. You guys, I'm in a hotel room all by myself, cracking myself up. Um, oh, Sally, I hope you get it. I hope they get it. So anybody else want to say who their favorite character was? Mine is definitely Isabel. I'm a rebel. I think it's cool. I think it's cool how she just, you know what? I want to be the kind of person who really just goes after what I believe. Sometimes it's hard to identify our beliefs, or I think also too that our beliefs kind of change over the years. Like I'm not the same person that I was even 10 or 15 years ago. My beliefs have changed, my values haven't really changed, but just the things I'm passionate about have changed over the years, even just the last 10 years. So you love the mother nun? He helped so much with the children. Yeah, that was a good character too. See, so many people with such good hearts. Yeah, he. So many people with such good hearts in this story, in this book. So I really appreciated that. It's kind of makes you, I don't know, it makes me want to emanate that kind of personality, you know? Like I want to be that. I want to be that good of a person. But yeah. All right, well, you guys, if you have nothing else amazing to say about this was just such a good book. I'm so glad we chose it. You guys who voted, because what did I vote for? I don't think I voted for this one, but it's been on my wish list for a long time, so I was happy that you guys chose it. The first soldier in Vianne's house had a good heart. I agree. Beck, yeah. He seemed like it was interesting when she was describing him as like he could be the boy next door. And then she talked about how he had his family. You know, she really did see the good side of him also. So, but you know what? There were probably a lot of soldiers in that war, German soldiers, who were good people. And they just had to do, you know, I don't know, maybe they fought with their country. He was torn. Yeah. And I'm so glad that he helped with her husband and finding out, you know, who the prisoners were and the postcards and everything. He was a good man, but I think there were probably a lot of German men who were good and were just torn like that too. It's a really good book, Dee. It's so good. And it's so different from what we've been reading. So it's kind of heartbreaking. Hey! Hi, the endorsement. Dude, when you come to California, we're going to Disneyland and we're going to eat food together. Seriously, so come out here soon. You guys, my favorite food reviewer just popped in. The endorsement. If you like food reviews and you like fast food, because he eats a lot of fast food, you got to watch his channel, The Endorsement on YouTube. I'm fascinated. I got to do more food reviews. I totally do. Come on then, mister. I will take you to Disneyland and we're going to eat our way through it. Good food, bad food, it don't matter. Thanks for popping in though. That's awesome. I seriously need to meet you someday. Do you guys think I should do more food reviews? I think I did like 2. But I really, like seriously, oh my gosh, Lori, that hamburger donut was so good. It's funny because I was watching the video and my little niece was so cute. She was like my food buddy for the whole fair. But that donut hamburger was so good. But I really like the flavor of sweet and savory. I like sweet and savory together a lot. So it was just really good. But everything I ate at the fair was awesome. The scone nuggets were amazing. Oh, the salad with the sun-dried tomato dressing. You know what's funny is that salad was so basic. Like it was literally just like a spring mix, and it had a little bit of bell pepper and I think some tomatoes and like just a few croutons. I had a salad today that had like a ton of croutons. I counted 4 points. But that salad with the sun-dried tomato, Jeannie, I know I'm getting hungry too. I'm gonna go get a salad after this. But the salad with the sun-dried tomato dressing was so good, and I love sun-dried tomatoes, so I should totally make a sun-dried tomato dressing. I don't really like eat a lot of dressing with my salads though, but I'm totally craving a salad right now. What's everybody having for dinner? Or did you already eat dinner? I'm going to go find a restaurant that has a salad that I can have salmon on it, because that just sounds amazing. Oh, the macarons from Trader Joe's, Susan. I should totally review those. Salad and chicken for lunch, Dee. That sounds good. The endorsement had chicken and rice for lunch. That you made? Do you cook? Because I gotta see that. Lori made chili, salad, cheese, strawberries. Wow, you are. Sally made soup for 0 points. What's in your soup, Sally? That sounds good. You guys are making me want to get home and like make my own food, but I really do love eating out. You took 6 months of cooking classes? You gotta do a video on that. Do some cooking videos. I would love to see that. That's cool. And by the way, I just have to say, you have amazing eyes. You probably get that all the time, but, and I'm talking to the endorsement, guys. So if you wanna see how awesome his eyes are, go look at his food reviews. You guys are making me wanna go home and cook something. But not tonight. Tonight I'm having salmon. I don't care where I go, where I find it, I gotta have salmon. Anyway, we are 56 minutes in, so you guys all enjoy your dinner. D, go watch the endorsement. The eyes have it, he says. You do have such beautiful eyes. But anyway, you guys head over there. Sally's having chicken, beans, and chicken stock with fire roasted tomatoes in the crock pot. Oh, that's your soup. That sounds awesome. Yeah, you guys go check out the endorsement. Tell him I sent you. I got your back, buddy. Anyway, I'm gonna go so I can find my salmon salad, and I will check in with you guys next time. So the next book is Something in the Water, and I can't remember the author, but I'll put it in the description box. And the next book club discussion will be the last Sunday of this month at 10 a.m. And yes, Susan, I'm in Salt Lake. Are you in Salt Lake? Good night, endorsement. You rock. Thanks, guys. I am almost home. Like, I just have to return the rental car and catch a flight tomorrow. Thank you, Lori. Catherine Stedman. Something, the endorsement, it's called Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman. Bye, Sally. Thanks, Dee. I'm glad you popped in. Something in the Water by Catherine Stedman. So I will see you guys all 2 Sundays from now at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay? Checking out. Gonna go into the big town of Salt Lake City and see what I can find to eat. Watch my next video and you'll know what I found. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome.